Computer, все, I begin.
Ketdi, rahmat.
Yes, now started.
Okay, good evening, colleagues. Good to
evening,
see you
everyone.
again. Good evening. Assalomu alaykum hammalaringizga. O'zbekiston ingliz tili o'qituvchilari uyushmasi navbatdagi vebinarni boshlayapti. Bu vebinarlarimiz hozir oxirgi loyihamizni 4-vebinari. Nasib bo'lsa, Xudo xolasa, bu ta'lim tizimidagi katta ishlarning boshi. Nasib bo'lsa, Xudo xolasa atrofimizda o'zimizni milliy, lekin xalqaro darajadagi ekspertlarimiz qatnashyapti loyihada. Bular Oybek Imamov, Rohatoy Boltayeva, Farhodjon Kadirov. Bular o'zbek xalqi uchun ingliz tilini nima uchun o'rgangan? Ingliz tilini kasb o'rganish uchun, ingliz tilini xalqqa yetkazish uchun o'rgangan. Shuning uchun o'zimizni no formal ta'lim tizimida o'qituvchilarga yordam, menejerlarga yordam, talabalarga yordam, shaffof ta'lim tizimi qanaqa bo'ladi va hokazo degan ma'noda onlayn platforma yaratyapmiz. Shu birinchi platformamizda Digitalization in Pedagogy deb atalyapti. Loyihani o'zi katta nomi. Lekin eng birinchi qadamimiz bu o'qituvchilarni prof standarti bilan boshladik. Shall we say it in English? No, we don't need it, right?
Yes.
Okay, and today's presentation, Jamilapa,
Yes.
we would like to welcome all the UC members, including those who are newcomers as well.
Yes.
Later on, when at the end of the conference, we will announce who are they.
Yeah.
But now I would like to give the floor to Rohatoy Boltayeva, who would do her presentation in English. And then Oybekjon Imamov will try to make it Uzbek. And
Sure.
of course, as a mentor, I will be always everywhere in English and Uzbek and everywhere. Because as a mom, I have to take care that we are delivering the project in the right way. Thank you, colleagues, for joining us. Okay, Rohatoy, you may start.
I am busy with adding, guys.
Yeah, you
Okay,
can
thank
do
you.
that.
Okay.
Please do. Everybody will do their work.
Assalomu alaykum.
Walaikum
Assalomu
salam.
alaykum.
Assalomu alaykum.
Hormanglar, yaxshimisizlar?
Rahmat.
We have started the conference.
Aha, rahmat. Bo'ldi, o'chirdim.
Good evening, everyone. It's so nice to see you all joining to our fourth webinar, which is called 21st Century Skills, Creativity and
Yes.
Education. All
Assalomu
right.
alaykum hammaga. Hammani ko'rib turganimizda xursandmiz. Bugungi webinarimizda hammaga xush kelibsiz. Rohatoy.
Okay. So today, today's overview is we have already welcomed you by 3 of our speakers, and I will make the presentation on the topic creativity in education. And if you have the questions that raised during the presentation, please, I ask you not to hold it until the end, and you can ask interrupting me during the presentation.
I'm writing that they can write it on the chat as well.
On the chat box, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And then there will be a homework, which is going to be conducting the survey as well as watching the video related to the creativity in education.
Thank
So
you.
today-
Hold on once. Ko'rib turganingizda bugungi temamiz, bugungi mavzumiz creativity in education. Bu ta'lim sohasida ijodiy fikrlash. Bugungi prezentatsiyamizda sizda savol javoblaringiz bo'lsa, prezentatsiya davomida so'rashingiz mumkin, to'xtatib, yoki bo'lmasa chatda yozsangiz ham bo'ladi. Prezentatsiyamiz oxirida sizga uyga vazifa beriladi. Rahmat.
Thank you. So learning outcomes from today's webinar are going to be, you will be able to bond the core teaching standards to creativity and education. You will also recognize what is 21st century skill are, and particularly creativity in terms of education, and you will be able to define creativity and how it's applied in education system. And also you will be able to identify key skills for personal productivity and career growth, having learned about the 21st century skills, as well as we will be completing 3 different creative activities during the webinar today.
Rahmat. Bugungi prezentatsiyamizda bizlar ta'lim sohasidagi ta'lim standartlari va ijodkorlik, ta'lim sohasidagi ijodkorlikni birgalikda ko'rib chiqamiz va 21-asrdagi ijodiy va ta'limga sohasiga oid bo'lgan larni birgalikda o'rganamiz va ta'lim sohasidagi ijodiy fikrlash nimaligini aniqlab olamiz. Ularda qanaqa qilib o'sish, qanaqa o'rganish va oxirida bizada 3 ta activity bo'ladi. O'sha ijodkorlikni yanada rivojlantirish uchun bizga yordam beradi. Rahmat.
Okay, so now let's start bonding our core teaching standards that has been taught to you during the first and second webinars that comprised of 3 main domains and 10 different standards. Well, the topic is related to 7 of the standards, which is the first domain, teaching knowledge and understanding, where the teachers should know how their students are learning and what kind of social and learning skills do they need to possess. Secondly, the content and the subject that is being taught to the students really matters in terms of creativity. And thirdly, core research and analytical methods that apply in teaching, which is related to assessment, also related to this creativity.
Ko'rib turganingizdek, bu 3 ta standartlarimiz, bu bizning birinchi va ikkinchi webinarlarimizda o'rgatilgan edi, hammaga tanishtirilgan edi. Bugun esa bu o'sha ijodkorlikni mana shu 3 ta standartlarga bog'lab sizga ko'rsatishga harakat qilamiz. Ko'rib turganingizdek, birinchi standartimiz bu qanaqa qilib talabalar o'rganadi, qanaqa qilib ularni kerakli bo'lgan bilimlarni berishni o'rgatamiz va metodologiyaga bo'lgan va o'sha o'qitilayotgan fanga bo'lgan kontentni, o'sha beriladigan ma'lumotlarni o'rgatishni ham o'rganamiz va hold on 1 second. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes, okay. So o'shalarni birgalikda qo'shib ta'lim standartlari bilan bugun ko'rib chiqamiz.
Eng muhim standart bor bu yerda. Har bitta o'quvchi darsga tayyorlanish jarayonida tahliliy metodlardan foydalanishi. Nima degani bu tahliliy metod? Tahlil research deganda juda ko'p o'qituvchilar juda ham ko'p qo'rqishadi. Masalan, bugun siz bergan darsingizni bolalaringiz o'zlashtira olmadi. O'zlashtira olmasa, nima uchun o'zlashtirmadi? Shuni bolalaringizdan so'rab olishingiz mumkin. Uni feedback deydi. Masalan, feedback asosida so'rashingiz mumkin yoki savol-javob qilishingiz mumkin. Savol-javob asosida bolalaringiz 80%, 90% tushunmagan, yomon rezultat chiqaradigan bo'lsa, bu ham researchga o'tadi. Bu ham tahlilga o'tadi. Demak, siz o'zingizni metodlaringizni o'zgartirasiz. Demak, o'sha dars jarayonidagi va dars natijasidagi tahliliy metodlar, demak, bolani baholashga olib keladi. Birinchi qismi 10 ta standart deydi. Bizlarda o'zbekchilikda buni mezon deb aytishadi. O'sha 10 ta mezondan mana birinchi qismini ko'rdingiz, mana bu ikkinchi qismi. Marhamat. Ro'xatda.
The second domain relates with the teaching practice, where the students and teacher especially needs to plan and prepare for the lesson to meet the learning objectives and the students' needs. And the fifth standard is all about the appropriate range of teaching activities, including creative activities that can support the development of the students. And the sixth standards is about the organization of those activities and facilitation of the teaching activities so that we can comply within the safe environment where everyone feels safe and trust to each other. And the next criteria is related to assessment, and it's the way how teachers assess their students' different skills and abilities.
Ko'rib turganingizdek, bu ikkinchi domenimiz bu teaching practice va o'qitish praktikasi. Bularning ichiga 4, 5 va 6, 7 mezonlar kiradi. 4-sida bu o'qituvchilarning darsga tayyorgarlik ko'rishi va darsning maqsadi va o'shani talabalarga nima o'rgatilishi kerakligini to'liqligicha tayyorlanish va o'shanga yetishish. 5-si ko'rib turganingizdek bu darsda jarayonda darsga taalluqli bo'lgan aktivitelar, har xilcha mashg'ulotlarni olib borish. Chunki bu talabalarni yaxshiroq mavzu bo'yicha yaxshiroq bilim olishiga yordam beradi. 6-si bu o'sha organizatsiya yoki o'sha universitet yoki maktabda talabalar yaxshi o'rganishi uchun, bilim olishi uchun, ular uchun xavfsiz va ular uchun qulay bo'lgan vaziyat va anaqani yaratish. 7-si bu baholash, studentlarni qanaqangi darajada o'rganyapti, qanday tayyorlanyapti va dars jarayoniga nimalar kerak bo'ladi, o'shalarni qo'shimcha qilib baholash ko'rsatilgan.
Shu yerda bir
here-
narsaga e'tibor berishlaringizni xohlardim. Qarang, 6-standartda nima deyapti? Constructively, oxirgisida participate constructively in safe and cooperative manner. Har bitta talaba darsingizga kelayotganda o'zini juda ham nima deydi, siz bilan birga hamkor ekanligini his qilish kerak. Hamkor. Sizni o'quvchingiz emas, men hech narsani bilmayman, hozir o'qituvchim menga 2 qo'yadi, 5 qo'yadi emas. Men o'qituvchim bilan hamkorlikda rivojlanyapman degan tushuncha bilan kelish kerak. Ikkinchisi, mana shunaqa tushuncha bo'lgan bolada albatta u safe bo'ladi. Men shu territoriyaga kirsam, men o'zimni baxtli his qilaman degan. Hech kim meni himoya qiladigan zona bo'layapti. Va oxirgisi, albatta birgalashib ishlaymiz. Men bir narsani tushunmasam, o'qituvchim menga yordam beradi yoki o'qituvchim tushunmagan narsaga men borib yana o'rganib, o'qituvchimga ham yordam beraman degan ma'noda. Bunga alohida e'tibor berish kerak. Har bitta standart bo'yicha alohida treninglar bo'ladi. Rahmat.
Now you can see the creative atmosphere in the classroom, that the students are engaged in different creative activities in a safe and trustful atmosphere, if you pay attention.
Yeah, exactly.
Different setup, creative environment can be seen in the pictures.
Exactly.
Men rasmlardan ko'rib turibsizki, bu yerda har bir rasmda har xilcha mashg'ulotlar orqali ijodkorlikni rivojlantirishga yordam beradigan mashg'ulotlar o'tkazilyapti o'qituvchilar tomonidan. Har xilcha qiziqarli, o'sha temaga, mavzuga oid bo'lgan har xilcha mashg'ulotlar o'tkazilyapti.
Now it's time to move smoothly to the main topic, which is 21st century skills and the creativity, which is a part of it. So what do you understand by 21st century skills? Could you please type in the chat box? What does it mean to you?
Tashkent region, go ahead. It is all about 21st century.
Now it will be competition between the regions.
It's my beloved topic. Go ahead, Tashkent region. Hello.
Chatda yozishingiz mumkin, mana o'zingiz fikrlaringizda nimaligini, bu 21-asr o'qitish ijodkorligini.
Masalan, nima deb o'ylaysizlar? 21-asrda ijodkorlik deganda nimani tushunish mumkin? Qaysi region?
O'zbek tilida gapirayotganimizni ham tushuntirib yuboring, nega o'zbek tilida ham gapiryapmiz?
Chunki o'zbek tilida gapirayotganimizning sababi bizlar bu standart faqat ingliz tili o'qituvchilarining standarti emas. Bu barcha o'qituvchilarning standarti. Ertaga nasib bo'lsa, Xudo xolasa, treninglar jarayonida kim qaysi o'qituvchi bo'lishidan qat'iy nazar mana shu standartlarga rioya qilish kerak. Nasib bo'lsa, platformamizda bizlar talabalarning standarti, mana hozir ma'naviyat deb qanaqa ma'naviyatda qaysi joyni qayerda o'qitish kerakligimizni tushunmagan joylarimiz bor. Talabalarning standarti bor. Boshqaruv standarti bor. Shuning uchun hammalaringiz fikrlaringizni ochiq qilib, 21-asrda qanaqa ko'nikmalar kerak? Masalan, eng katta ko'nikma bu ijodiy yondashishga ochiq. Judayam mana yaxshi javoblar kelyapti.
They say that it's very important skills for us. Creativity, digital literacy, critical thinking. One of the Webster alumni is saying that being aware of flexibility, soft skills, hard skills, transferable skills, flexibility, innovative approach. Yeah, fantastic. Good job.
Can I ask you the one question about the teacher who said hard skills? What does it mean, hard skills? I knew about the soft skills. Hard skills is the technical skills, you mean, right?
So hard skill, it is all about academic skills. And soft skills, it is all about personality.
No, soft skills are academic skills. Technical skills are those who are doing hands-on. Yeah.
Good
so-
evening, everyone. Good evening,
Yes.
Dr. Feruza Musayevna. Hard
Yes,
skill
please.
is the academic skills, which we have a diploma and certificate. They are hard skills.
Okay.
Soft skill is related to our soft skill bizi ijtimoiy jamoaga kira olish qobiliyatlarimiz, bizni muomala, biror qiyin vaziyatdan chiqa olish qobiliyatlarimiz soft skillga kiradi deb o'ylayman.
Bundan tashqari ko'nikmalaringiz, to'g'rimi? Soft
Ko'nikmalarimiz, soft skill
Ha.
yumshoq ko'nikmalarimiz, hard skill qattiq ko'nikmalarimiz. Ya'ni qanday qattiq ko'nikma? Biz erishgan yutuqlarimiz, o'qigan diplomimiz, olgan
Evidence'lar,
sertifikatlarimiz.
to'g'rimi? Evidence'lar.
Yes. Ha, shular hard skill deb o'ylayman.
Excellent. Perfect. Good
Rahmat.
job.
Excellent.
Rahmat.
We are so glad
You
that
can
we
be
have
proud
the
of your
competent
graduates,
teachers.
alumni.
Good job.
Молодец, Nilufar.
Rahmat.
All right.
Feruza.
Now, what are 21st century skills, particularly in the learning environment? These are comprised of three L's: learning, literacy, and life skills. So when it comes to the learning skills, these are 4 C's. You can learn it by heart like that. 4 C's. Critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication. These are the skills that are really needed for our learners to be able to learn different kinds of subjects. And there is also literacy
Maybe
skills.
Here we should stop and say it in Uzbek, maybe.
Albatta.
Oybekjon?
Learning skillslar mana bu 21-asrdagi learning skills, o'rganish malakalarini ko'rib turibsiz. Mana bular 4 ta C bilan boshlanadigan critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, communication. Bular ijodiy fikrlash, tanqidiy fikrlash va hamkorlik va muloqot. Bular juda ham muhim. Bu ko'rib turganingizdek muloqotlar. Endi keyingisi bu literacy skills. Literacy skills bu o'quv malakasi, information, ma'lumot, media, bu o'zimiz media va texnologiya. Next one, life skills.
Yes, and
Yeah.
life skills are comprised of flexibility, being flexible in this world, leadership skills, being initiative, which is a part of creativity, productivity, and social skills. And there is a famous saying by Alvin Toffler, one of the most innovative creative organization creator, who says, the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. So to be able to learn anything in the world, we should be able to possess these learning skills. We need to teach our kids how to become independent learners who are capable of different kinds of these skills.
Keyingilarni ko'rib turganingizdek bular life skills, bu hayotiy malakalar. Ko'rib turganingizdek birinchisi flexibility, bu moslashuvchanlik, leadership bu boshqaruv, initiative bu tashabbuskorlik, productivity bu mahsuldorlikka kiradi va social skills bu ijtimoiy ko'nikmalar. Mana bu yerda Alvin Toffler'ni juda ham qiziqarli keltirilgan ma'lumoti bor. Bu yerda ko'rib turgan to illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read, but those who can. Bu 21-asrdagina o'rgatish uchun faqatgina o'qish yozish emas, balki bu o'rganish, yana qaytadan o'rganish yoki o'rgangan narsalarni yana qaytadan ko'rib chiqib o'rgangan kishilar bu 21-asrda bilimli hisoblanadi masalan.
21-asrdagi ham moslashgan insonlar hisoblanishadi. Yana LLLni, masalan, hozir rohat aytgan 3 ta LLL yana bitta ma'nosi bor. O'zimizda o'zbekchilikda 5 dan to qabrgacha ilm izla deyshadi-yu. Shuni UNESCO hozir LLL deb yana chiqargan. Bu lifelong learning. Hayot davomida ta'lim. Buni ham shu ustiy mahorat bilan birgalikda bizning tilimizda ingliz tili o'qituvchilar tilida CPD deydida, continuing professional development. Endi hozir shuncha ko'nikmalarni 21-ko'nikmalarni bilish uchun nima bo'lish kerak? Har bitta o'qituvchi bitta sertifikat oldim, shunga qani necha pul to'lar ekan deb emas. Qani men qanaqa o'qituvchi bo'laman? 21-asrga mos o'qituvchimanmi yoki yo'qmi degan savol bilan chiqish kerak oldinga. O'shanda u oldinga yuradigan o'qituvchi bo'ladi va haqiqatda mana bugungi bizani prezentatorlarimizga o'xshab xalqaro ekspert bo'la oladi. Motivatsiya qilib boraveraylik. Rahmat. Rohatay.
All right. Now I'm glad that you already know what soft skills and hard skills are, because we will be talking in our later slides. Now, if you look at the World Economic Forum report that has been done 2 years ago, they have overseen the skills that are really needed in the 21st century. And on the left-hand side, you can see the growing skills in this world, which are analytical thinking, innovation, active learning and learning strategies, creativity, originality and initiative, technology design, critical thinking, leadership skills. So all of them are considered to be the 21st century skills that are really needed to teach to our learners and kids. Whereas on the right-hand side, you can see some of the declining skills, which is all about manual dexterity, that everything that can be done using our hands. Because of the robotization and digitalization age, this manual dexterity are becoming declining skills. Memorization, verbal, auditory, learning skills. If you pay attention, in our education system, we mostly give our students we spoon feed them and giving different poems and stories to learn by heart and retell to ourselves back. Whereas in the most innovative educational system countries, it's vice versa. They are giving the story to the kids and they are asking different questions from the kids to develop their creative and critical thinking skills and asking their own opinion on that very story. So we need to be changing our education system towards that point.
Ko'rib turganingizdek bu ekranimizdagi 2022-yildagi mahoratlar qaysiki mana bu chap tarafimizda bu o'sayotgan hozirgi vaqtga kelib va o'ng tarafda bu уже pastga tushayotgan yoki orqaga tortilayotgan mahoratlar ko'rsatilgan. Mana bu chap tarafda growing, bu yerda 10 ta mahoratlarni ko'rishingiz mumkin. Bu tahlil qilish, tanqidiy fikrlash yoki innovatsiya kiritish, aktivni o'rganish, har xilcha o'rganish strategiyalari bilan tanishuv, ijodkorlik, tashabbuskorlik, texnologiya yoki murakkab muammolarni yecha bila olish, leadership bu yerda ko'rib turganingizdek va har xilcha muammolarni yechish shular bilan ko'rsatilgan. O'ng tarafda o'z ko'rsatganingizdek bu xotira yoki bo'lmasa verbal gaplashish, eshitish, management har xilcha va texnologiyalarni o'rnatish va ularni hamisha ishlab turishi uchun texnik yordam ko'rsatish, o'qish, yozish, aktivni eshitish va hokazo. Ko'rib turganingizdek hammasi ichiga kirib ketadi bularni.
Endi e'tibor bergan bo'lsangiz, mana bu 22-asr haqida gap ketyapti. Mana bu. То есть, masalan, o'sib kelayotgan 20-asr, mana 21-asr o'tib ketib, 22-asrda kerak bo'ladigan ko'rikmalarni qilish uchun bugungi mana declining deyapti, kichkinagina bo'lsa ham qora qilib ko'rsatishgan, lekin bularning asosida mana bu narsalar paydo bo'lishi kerak. Bu yerda eng katta narsa hali bizning tizimimizga kiritilmagan yana bitta narsa bor. Bu уже men bilaman 10 yildan beri xalqaro tizimda bor. Bu emotional intelligence test bor. Emotional intelligence test bu har bitta odamning birdan qaysi darajalarga o'sishi, kim bo'ladi bu bola. Ertaga masalan preschool educationdan уже test qilinyapti bu bolaki, bu bola ertaga kim bo'ladi degan savolga berish uchun. Shuning uchun inson kapitali shakllanishi, demak preschool educationdan boshlanib katta educationgacha kirib ketish kerak. Shuning uchun bizlar o'qituvchilar ayniqsa UCTda bizlar bo'lmaymiz. Hech qaysi o'qituvchining bu preschool education ekan, oliy ta'lim ekan demaymiz. Lekin har bitta o'qituvchi bunaqa ko'nikma ko'nikmalarga ega bo'lishi kerak.
Yeah.
Xudoy rahmat olib chiqqaningiz uchun bunday videolarni.
Thank you. Yeah, to be able to compete with robots,
Yes.
we should think differently. We should think creatively, emotionally, that robots cannot really do, because robots are taking up much of our professions. Many,
Yes.
around 80 professions will be like lost in our
Yes.
10 or more years, decades.
Yes, thanks to the robots. All
Mm.
technical jobs can be done by robots. All the
Yeah.
emotional things, communicational things, teacher trainings can be done by people.
Again,
Right.
we are talking about tier of capabilities. Several of you have mentioned hard skills. These are subject specialization, the content knowledge skills. And if you know just your subject only, the success in your career will be up around 20 or 60%. However, soft skills added up to your knowledge content area, these are the 21st century skills, will make you successful in your career up to 80%. The research has been done. So to be able to do so, we should be teaching our kids, not just catching fish for them and giving it to them, like spoon feeding for them, giving them only memorization activities, but giving them the tools and knowledge so that they will be able to comprise different kinds of activities or products. In other words, we need to be teaching them how to fish, not giving them the ready-made fish.
Bu prezentatsiyamizni boshida ham so'ragan edik sizlardan bu soft skills va hard skills haqida. Ko'rib turganingizdek, bu yerda hard skills bu o'qituvchilarni o'z mutaxassisligiga ega bo'lgan mahoratlar, masalan, o'z fani haqidagi ma'lumoti va o'sha bilim darajasi ko'rsatilgan. Ko'rib turganingizdek, hard skills bo'lsa, faqatgina bu degani 20-60% gacha sizni muvaffaqiyatingizni aniqlashtirib beradi. Agar siz bu yerda soft skills, ya'ni bu jamiyatga kerak bo'ladigan malaka ko'nikmalari sizda rivojlangan bo'lsa, bu degani bu siz o'zingizni muvaffaqiyatingizni 40 yoki 80% gacha ham oshira olasiz. Shuning uchun biz o'qituvchilar o'zimizni talabalarga faqatgina hard skills emas, soft skills hammasidan birgalikda ma'lumot yetkazishimiz kerak, chunki ular kelajakda yetuk bo'lib yetishi uchun faqatgina biz hamma narsani o'rgatmasdan ularni o'zini mustaqil o'rganishga ham da'vat etishimiz kerak.
Shu yerda bir narsani aytmoqchiman. Masalan, bizlar har xil o'qituvchilar, har xil insonlar bilan ishlaymiz-ku. Mana yaqinda bitta o'qituvchi aytayapti, onlayn o'qitish jarayonida masalan Amerikalik o'quvchi bilan o'zbek o'quvchining o'zini tutishi va uyga vazifalarga bo'lgan munosabati. Masalan, 10% dars o'tilib, 90% uyga vazifa berilayotganda, masalan Amerikada o'qib katta bo'layotgan bola to'liq bajarib kelsa, masalan, bizanikilar kelib deydi, 10% ni qila oldim, qolganini qarab turaveradi. Balkim bugun mendan o'qituvchim so'ramas deb deydi. To'ys maqsad o'qituvchi uchun o'qilayotgan bo'lib qolyapti-da, o'quvchini o'zi o'qishi emas. Shuning uchun ta'lim tizimidagi eng katta tormoz mana shu yerda bo'lyapti. To'ys biz o'qituvchilar hamma narsani tayyorlab olib kelib berib, o'quvchilar bilan kollaboratsiya, nima deydi, hamkorlik qilmaganligimiz uchun. Buni yaxshilab tushunib olishga harakat qilsalaringiz, bu juda ham chiroyli capabilities. Capabilities degani o'sha 4 tomonga qarab harakat qila bilish. Mana qora bo'lib turgan joyi biz sizga majburan siz aytganingizdek hard skills olib olasiz, diplomlaringizni oliy ma'lumotli bo'lib chiqdingiz, keyin dal o'sish kerak degan savolga mana shu capabilities javob beradi. Buni formasini bizlar hozir endi rekord qilyapmiz, nasib bo'lsa yana qo'yamiz, qayta ko'rishlaringizni taklif qilardim. Rahmat.
Thank you.
Rahmat.
So now let's move smoothly to the creativity and its role in education. So the initial question is, what is the goal of education? What do you think? What is the purpose of education in this world? Could you please type in the chat box so that we could see?
Keling endi ta'lim sohasidagi ijodiy fikrlash nimaligini aniqlab olishga harakat qilamiz. Mana bu chatda siz yozishingiz mumkin. What's the goal of education? Ta'limning maqsadi nima? Hozir yozishlaringiz mumkin, hamma o'z fikrlaringizni.
to grow smart, independent generation.
Mhm.
Nilüfer Kurbanova is quite active today.
Yep.
Yes, she is very good. And the
Live
Raffles
and
as well.
learn, Shiraliva. Zalala is
Молодец.
saying nurturing continuous curiosity towards growth in everything.
Yes, exactly.
So, 2 more, please.
Молодец. Salimaxon yozyapti. Masalan, mana maktabimda 10% tushuncha berish hamda 90% mustaqil ish berish qilish degan topshiriq bersam, internetdan shu narsani topib, nima deydi, izlanib kelishadi. To'g'ri, hammasi internetdan olib kelishadi. Bolalarimiz chunki o'zlari o'tirib ishlashga o'rgatilmayapti-da. Bu sizga thought. Salimaxon o'rganib, yana nima uchun shunaqa bo'layotgan juda ko'p o'qituvchilar shunaqa qiladi. Tayyori bormi deydi. Ana o'sida chatdan ham so'rasangiz, tayyori bormi, javoblar bormi deb so'rab turishadi. Maqsad faqat tayyor narsani olish. Bu yaxshi narsa emas. Yaqinda bizlarda o'qituvchilarimizdan bittasi so'radi. Nimaga shunaqa dedi? Chunki bizlarga maktabimizdan mana bizlar hozir bundan nima uchun o'tilyapti? Hozir bolalarimizga tayyor narsani izlamasdan o'zing yarat degan ma'noda creativity temasiga alohida urg'u berilyapti.
Yes.
Good.
We've seen several responses that
Wow, very good
the
response.
teachers are
Labros
quite
Babajanova
brilliant.
was writing. Yeah.
And
Nasiba
they are
Khan.
almost correct in their responses. Yeah. Now on your screen you can see several prominent people's thinking their
Thank
way
you,
of
guys.
thinking what's the purpose of education. And now I would like to draw your attention to the picture which is situated on the right side. So our education system mostly preparing the academics, university professors. The schools are educating our kids to become professors. They're preparing them to be enrolled in the universities as students. And in our Uzbek education system, they assess schools depending on the number of the students who are enrolled in the universities, which sadly depicts the sad situation. And we are squandering our kids' creative and intelligence capacities, giving them the fixed assessment, fixed shapes, and teaching everyone equally according to particular shapes. So not interrelating with different activities and different modes of learning and teaching.
Okay, ko'rib turganingizda bu slaydimizda bu yerda o'qituvchilarning javoblari keltirilgan. Sizni e'tiboringizni mana bu education system deyilgan o'ng tarafdagi rasmga qaratmoqchimiz. Bunda ko'rib turganingizdek bu maktabdagi ta'lim sistemasi bu talabalarni, o'quvchilarni faqatgina o'qishni davom ettirish, o'qituvchilik yoki professor o'shanaqa bo'lib chiqishga da'vat etyapti. Bu o'sha xuddi shu paytda o'zida bu talabalar, o'quvchilarni ijodkorlik, tanqidiy fikrlash mahoratlarini cheklab qo'yapti o'sha orasida. Shuning uchun bu o'sha narsaga e'tibor berishimiz kerak.
There are many more professions rather than teachers, right? We have
right. Shu yerda bitta narsaga e'tibor berish kerak edi. Uzr, Ro'xatoyev, mana qarang, o'qituvchilarda hozir mana ta'lim muassasalarini natijasini baholash haqida juda ham ko'p gapiramiz. Natijalardan bittasi bolalarimiz o'qishga, oliy ta'limga kirishi bilan baholanadi. Afsuski bunaqa emas-ku. Hamma ham o'qishga kirmasdan masalan bu yerda juda ham kreativ, ijodiy narsalarni ham yaratish mumkin-ku. Lekin afsuski hozircha shunaqa.
Yeah, we have many professions besides teaching profession, right? We should be preparing our kids to think creatively, to be able to possess different professions, not just, yeah. All right, thank you. Now let's move on. There is a well-known talk which was done by Serkan Robinson, which is called "Do Schools Kill Creativity?" with 21 million views on YouTube. And this talk fired up all the teachers and everyone else in this world that the creativity skills are really needed in schools, and the teachers are squandering them. And he says that people associate creativity with arts only, but it's not all about arts only, but it is the function of everything we do. So education for creativity is about changing the whole curriculum, adding different activities that can foster both creative and critical thinking skills to be able to make our kids to do innovative solutions towards the real world problems.
I'm sorry, yes. Keyingi bu slaydimizda ko'rib turganingizdek, bu yerda TED Ken Robinson'da mashhur videosi haqida keltirilgan. Bu yerda do skills kill creativity. Bu maktab o'quvchilarining ijodkorlik mahoratini o'ldiradimi degan mavzuda olib chiqilgan. Bu juda ham mashhur bo'lib kelgan va YouTube'da juda ham ko'pchilik bularni ko'rgan. Bunda odamlar ijodkorlikni bu faqatgina san'at bilan birgalikda bog'laydi. Bu yerda aytilishicha, okay, so wait,
ta'lim tizimi faqatgina ularga yaratilgan dastur bilan o'lchanmaydi, deyapti Ken Robinson.
To'ppa-to'g'ri.
Ularga yaratilgan dastur, albatta har qanaqa dastur u funksional bo'lishi kerak, ya'ni natija beradigan dastur bo'lishi kerak. Natija beradigan dastur bo'lmasa, demak unda ijodkorlik bo'lmaydi degan. Shuning uchun bu millionlab o'qituvchilar, millionlab ota-onalar, millionlab bolalar ko'rgan buni, hammasi ha degan, to'g'ri shunday bo'lishi kerak deyapti. Shuning uchun biz aslida ha, bolalar maktabga bir narsa qilish uchun kelish kerak edi, faqat o'rganish uchun emas. Marhamat.
All right. So why do we need creativity in this world in general? Because we are facing different challenges and abrupt changes are happening with the emergence of different technologies, with the emergence of internet, and there are different kinds of problems are happening in every corner of the world, like climate change, poverty, warfare, food scarcity, that cannot be solved without new and innovative strategies, that creativity is needed in every sphere. And Albert Einstein once said, problems cannot be solved using the same thinking level that created them. Educating for creativity is vital in our world to survive on this very planet, not just for the human race, but for the survival of the planet. And Ken Robinson also pinpointed that profound things can happen when students are given room to explore their own interests and capacities, to flourish their creativity.
Okay. Mana slaydimizda ko'rib turganingizdek, biza nima uchun bizaga ijodiy fikrlash kerak degan savol tug'iladi. Nima uchun shuni bizaga olib kirishimiz kerak darsimizga yoki o'qitishimiz kerak talabalarga. Ko'rib turganingizdek, bugungi zamonda bizning dunyomiz juda ham ko'p muammolarga duch kelyapti. Bular bu muammolar bu iqlimning o'zgarishi, kambag'allik yoki urush yoki ovqat yetishmovchiligi, bularning hammasi faqatgina ijodiy fikrlash yoki tanqidiy fikrlash, yangi strategiyalarni olib kirgan holda bularni yechish osonroq bo'ladi jamiyatimizda, hozirgi jamiyatimizda. Keyin ko'rib turganingizdek,
ustozlar kimlardadir o'chib qolibdi, problemani hal qilib beraylik, telegramim to'lib ketdi. Tugadimi, nega o'chdi degandek.
Kimlardadir nimadir o'chib qolibdi, nima o'chdigan?
Ha, o'chib qop-qora bo'lib ko'rinib turganmish. Ayting yigitlar-u, qarab boringlar, nega unaqa?
Nimasi o'chganmish? Nimasi o'chganmish?
Qora ekran qora bo'lib turganmish.
Bizlarda yaxshi ko'rinyapti, ularning o'zini kompyuterida.
Ularning o'zidagi bu
ehtimol o'zlarida internet
qayta kirishibdi, mana hammasi yaxshi
bo'lmagan.
Endi tarjimaga qaytamiz. Nima uchun ijodkorlik muhim? Ijodkorlik muhim deyapti.
Albert Einsteinning aytishicha, bu muammolarni faqatgina bir xil o'ylash bilan biz yecha olmaymiz. Biz ya'ni ijodiy fikrlash bilan yondashishimiz mumkin muammolarga. Keyingisi bu educating for creativity. Bu juda ham planetamizga juda ham muhim. ijodkorlikni olib kirish bu faqatgina insoniyat uchun emas, butun planeta uchun muhim bo'ladi.
Chunki inson yaralgan ekan bir-biridan o'taman deb harakat qilyapti-da, human race. Undan o'taman, bundan o'taman deydi. Shunga qarshi masalan Elon Musk aytyapti, kelinglar, kreativ ijodkorlik qilaylik-da, masalan ekologiyani saqlab qolaylik, yerimizni saqlab qolaylik, mevalarimizni saqlab qolaylik. Bu hamma narsa nima deydi, o'sha reysga borib taqalmaslik kerak-da, musobaqaga borib taqalmaslik kerak. Buning uchun odamlar sal ijodkor bo'lish kerak.
To'g'ri. Mana Ken Robinsonda ham gap keltirilgan. Qachonki talabalarga yetarlicha imkoniyat yaratilsa, bu o'zini qiziqishlari uchun o'shandagina o'zgarish bo'ladi. O'shandagina yangiliklar kirita oladi talabalarimiz.
To'g'ri. Malades. Tarjimonimiz ham zo'r.
Thank you. So in our previous webinar held by Farhod Aka Kadirov, we learned about the rubrics and how it should be created, right? So that applies to creativity as well, because as you can see, once students, school leavers leave the school, they are exposed to the professional world and they will be employed by different employers and who will be testing their skills, not according to standardized tests that are held in schools, right? Without any kind of creative tasks and activities and assessment, but framed tests. But once they go to be employed by an employer, she is saying, what kind of real world skills do you have except your diploma? So that is today's need as well.
Very familiar situation.
Thrive in this world, you should be able to be possessing both content area as well as soft skills.
Juda yaxshi. Mana bu slayddan ko'rib turganingizdek, bu odatiy o'qitish sistemasi qayerdagi talabalarga, o'quvchilarga bir xil narsa o'rgatiladi va faqat kitoblar, test, standart testlar orqali o'rgatilib, faqatgina masalan chetga chiqmasdan faqatgina o'sha ilm olish bilan shug'ullanadi, lekin qachonki ular ishga topshirganda yoki borganda ulardan masalan dunyoviy bilimlar ham talab qilinadi. O'shandagina biza creativity ishlatgan talabalar bu haqda ko'proq ma'lumot bo'ladi va ishga kirish imkoniyati ko'proq bo'ladi oddiy o'qigan talabalarga qaraganda.
Endi bu yerda satira sifatida berilgan rasm, agar qaytsangiz, qarang, menga juda ham yoqadi bu satira. Men har doim aytaman, davlat test markazini testlari bir kun meni olib borib bir narsa qilmasa ish qilib bo'ldi-yu. Lekin aytaman, ular bizlarni qoloqlikka, bizlarni o'sha qaysidir ma'noda zanjirga bog'lab qo'ygan tizim deb bilaman. Sabablari ko'p, chunki bizlar ta'lim sifatida yurgan insonlar sifatida ham faol bo'lmaganligimiz uchun. Chunki hozir ham men shu savollarning ichida shunaqa gaplar aytgan, biz bir narsa desak, masalan, vazirlik boshqa narsa deydi. Bu bizlarni o'zimizni faol bo'lishimizga bog'liq. Faol bo'lib, keyin bu testing ishlaydi, bu testing ishlamaydi deb tursak, demak ishlaydi. Chunki har birimizni ijtimoiy faollikka chaqirilyapti bu slaydlar orqali. Endi eng yomoni bizlarni mana shu testlar bilan katta bo'lgan bolalarimiz katta amaki bo'lib borib ishga joylashish kerak, konkretni ish qil deb aytsa, men kechirasan, faqat test olishni bilaman. Test qilsangiz testingga javob beraman, men savollingga javob bera olmayman deyapti. Bu haqiqat, achchiq haqiqat o'rtoqlar. Juda ham chiroyli slayd, shuning uchun kelinglar ijodkor bo'laylik. Rahmat.
If you remember, we conducted the survey prior to this webinar, and these are the results. Out of 40 teachers, they agreed with the following statements on the assessment of creative activities. So you can make the assessment system using different rubrics created by yourselves and apply it in your own teaching. And here the statement says teachers should include the assessment of creativity when designing assessment, where most of our teachers agreed with this point. And the second point was
developing students.
Developing students' creativity is a key responsibility of our teachers. Well done, teachers. This is the responsibility of all teachers, regardless of the subject they teach.
Let's applaud to them.
Yeah. So creativity can be assessed if rubrics are created for different kinds of subjects, for which most of the teachers agreed. Yes, they can create the separate rubrics for different assessment regarding the creativity skills, and they can be assessed. Yes, you're right. And the statement, students are not motivated to learn what is not being assessed. So this color, yes, most of the teachers strongly agreed that their students are not gonna do this activity because this is not gonna be assessed. What's the point of me doing that?
Yes, exactly.
And the last statement, students will be more creative if assessment methods used now are changed, for which the most teachers strongly agreed. If assessment method, that is holistic approach or giving the same equal marks, are changed, the students will become more creative. Yes.
By the way, I would like to say something going new in our system of education. For example, the 4th class graduates are giving the international test. It calls the TIL. So the students are prepared for this. I mean, therefore, all their school books have changed. And the 9th class graduates are giving the PISA test, which will show what is the result of educated people in our country. It is changing. It is changing.
Yeah.
But we are teachers, as English teachers, have to be ready for that because we are the leading teachers on that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Is there any need to translate?
Mana ko'rib turganingizda bu yoqda berilgan so'rovnoma natijalari ko'rsatilgan. Bu yerda ijodkorlik va baholash haqida o'tkazilgan so'rovnomada masalan hamma o'qituvchilar 5 ta kriteriya bo'yicha javob bergan. Masalan qo'shilish yoki bunga qarshi hammasi ko'rsatilgan. Mana ko'rib turganingizda уже hammasi aniq ko'rsatilgan bu yerda.
That creativity is needed in terms of assessment. Yeah. So what is creativity? I invite you to type in the chat box of what you think creativity is.
Mana savol sizlarga, ijodkorlik bu o'zi nima? O'zlaringizni fikrlaringizni chatda keltirishingiz, yozishingiz mumkin.
Do we have any responses yet?
Yes, it's going.
Bizda yaxshi deyishyapti.
Bizda yaxshi, everything is okay. Because we have to, that means that we have to teach them how to work with this. Yes.
All right, then let's move on.
Yes, please.
Okay, so
here the answers.
Yes.
Creativity of thinking out of the box. Very good answer. Bu ijodkor o'quvchi.
Interaction between teacher and student. Yeah.
Yes, making new things. Creativity is giving chance for students being assessed on what they are good at. Very good answer, Nuruddin.
Not copying, interacting.
Yeah. Yes. Salima is active. Yes. Malakat Khan Mukhidinova. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your responses. So the term
Khurshida from 8th school is answering. Thank you very much.
All right.
Yes, very good. Thank you.
Good job.
Gulmiraxon Abdu Hamidova is also answering. Yangi o'quvchilar ko'rmagan aktivitelardan foydalanish kerak.
Okay. Good. Thank you. Actually, the term create was derived from a Latin word creare, which means to form something new that didn't exist before. And conventional definitions of creativity is imagining and thinking in a unique way, generating different possible solutions to a problem, merging 2 or 3 different ideas to solve one sort of problem, produce a new product, or producing original ideas that are both novel and useful. For us, it's newness that is useful and has a value to us.
Okay, bu yerda endi mana ko'rib turganingizda ijodkorlikning izohi ko'rib turganingizdek bu ijodkorlik so'zi lotin so'zi bo'lib creare so'zidan kelib chiqqan. Uning ma'nosi yo'q bo'lgan narsadan biror bir narsani yaratish. Keyin yana ko'rib turganingizdek yana boshqa bularni izohlari bor. Ko'rib turganingizdek tasavvur qilish va bir yagona yo'lda o'ylash o'zi отдельно qilingan va keyingisi biron bir muammoga har xilcha ehtimoliy javoblar keltirish, yangi mahsulot yaratish yoki biron bir joyda yangi yo'llar bilan yangi anaqalar kiritish.
So now
Okay.
let's move on, and there is a creativity formula that was created by famous mathematician Dr. Ruth Noller, who thinks that creativity equals to the function of knowledge, imagination, and evaluation. So this is the unique knowledge that you have, and imagination applied towards that knowledge and how you evaluate your knowledge and evaluation. And combining everything, the creativity comes up.
Bu slaydimizda creativity ijodkorlikning formulasini ko'rib turibsiz. Ko'rib turganingizdek C bu creativity, bu ijodkorlik va keyingisida bu yerda K bu knowledge, bilimga, imagination bu tasavvur va evaluation bu baholash yoki to'g'ri keladi. Bu Dr. Ruth Noller tomonidan yaratilgan formula.
Now let's become creative, everyone. We will do an activity. Your task will be in what new, unusual, and varied ways might you improve a bus stop. So I will be copying the link and will be putting in the chat box. And from the chat box, you will join the Miro board where we collaborate together and think creatively on how can we use the bus stop in a different way. All right. So you need to sign with your Gmail automatically at that very point, and then you will enter. So for those who couldn't enter, please stay with us and observe what we are doing. And you can say your own thoughts about how to improve the bus stop and put it in the chat box so that we could ourselves put your ideas into there. Okay?
Mana endi mashg'ulotga yetib keldik. Bu mashg'ulotda hozir Misro Xatoy hozir sizga linkini tashlaydi. Berilgan bu vannani har xilcha noan'anaviy ravishda, yangi ravishda buni yaxshilashga harakat qilamiz. Uning uchun siz registratsiya qilib Gmail orqali kirishingiz kerak. Right? They have to be signed in their Gmail account.
Would you please send it to the chat? This
Yes, please. Hozir chatdan yuborganda.
I will be sending.
Yes.
Into the chat box. One second.
Hozir sizlarga chatga yuboradilar link. Shu linkka kirib, link orqali Google'ga kirib, mana shu vanna misolida biz yana bitta kreativlikni misoli. Hammamiz kiramizda shunga. Agar kimdir kira olmasa, demak, shu yerda qarab turish kerak bo'ladi. Qani nima o'zgaryapti? Kim qanaqa javob beryapti?
So I will be sharing
Gmail
the
bo'lsa
board.
sign up with Gmail. O'sha bilan birgalikda sign up qilsa bo'ladi.
Here you can see different
or yoki bo'lmasa boshqa email orqali.
For example, I have put it as an example. I could use it as a flower pot, big flower pot. Someone might use it as a pet, or someone redesign it and make another thing. Please,
Oh, that's very creative.
Any color and type in here, whoever is inside. If you could press.
O'sha link orqali kirib kelganingizdan keyin mana bu berilgan katakchalarda yozib to'ldirishingiz mumkin. Mana vannani qanaqa qilib ishlatishingiz mumkin mana. It becomes useless. Mana Nuriddinov Husniddin bu it becomes useless then deyapti. We're just
Nega?
trying to be creative. Yo, vannani agar boshqa anaqa maqsadlarda ishlatsak demoqchida.
To'g'ri.
Masalan,
Yes,
Karam
Saida
tuzlashga.
Rahmanova is here. Saida, could you please type something here?
I'm
Mhm.
trying to come in from different computer. It takes me time.
Yeah.
Karam tuzlashga qanday karam tuzlashga?
That's a good option.
Okay. Karam tuzlashga, we can put it here.
Since that I'm in,
Pickled
Qishloq joyida
Yeah.
cabbages.
Baliq boqishga qanday baliq boqishga?
u ham
Yeah,
zo'r.
aquarium.
Ah,
Okay. So we can put, please tell me I can myself correct. So we
Biz-
have Olimjon here as well.
Biz buni
Yeah.
tikka qilishimiz mumkinmi yo faqat shundoq turish kerakmi bu?
You can move it or different place actually.
Yes. Ko'tarib qo'ysak ham bo'ladi.
pickled
Yeah.
cabbages. I love pickled cabbages.
Okay.
Tomatoes.
aquarium.
Aquarium.
Yeah.
Flower
So-
pot.
No more ideas. Please let's invite some
Chatda
ideas
yozsa
from
ham
the
bo'ladi
chat.
menimcha.
Yes. And then we will be giving votes. Jamila Pa, you love pickled cabbages, yeah?
Cabbages. Yeah.
We
They
will
move
be
it.
giving votes. Mamnaka ovoz beramiz. Yeah? Let's give votes taking this
Ah,
dots. You
dot.
can give your voice here. So for example, Beth, whoever likes this idea.
But
You
I
can
am not
grab-
in my email, Gmail.
I plant
Okay.
We can store water. Suv saqlasak bo'ladi deyapti. Suv o'chib qolgan paytda
I
juda ham
can-
kerak bo'ladi.
Judayam
Water
foydali.
storage.
Hech kimda
All
yo'q narsa
right.
fikrlar bizada chiqyapti lekin.
So here.
Butun dunyo
Ah.
hayron qolsa kerak, yoqa ushlasa kerak.
Then there is bookshelf
Bookshelf, that's way
upside
out
down.
of
Upside down bookshelf. Okay. Any more ideas?
Kim deb kiraylik deb so'rayapti Odinaxon. O'zingizni emailingizga
I
kiraverasiz
Xohlagan.
Odinaxon.
Sunflower.
I plant flowers.
Lekin machoq o'ynaganda bekinish joy bo'la oladi.
Hide and seek, da, hide and seek.
Da, hide and seekga o'xshar ekan.
Hide and seek place. Okay. Any more ideas?
Washing clothes. Washing
I plant
clothes.
flowers deyapti Malohat.
Washing clothes. Malohat? What else? Wait.
Planting the flowers. Malohat is saying.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yes.
I'm here. I
Okay.
plant the flowers.
Yeah.
Can
Okay.
you resend me the link? I had to resend.
This is a very nice application, by the way. You can use with your students. They can type, you can choose any different. And then once you finish the ideation part, you can actually vote for the ideas. So whichever idea is great, then you can assess your student as the creative one, the most creative one. All right.
Dog, for dogs.
Bakers.
Yeah.
Dove. Bowl, yeah. Dove making bowl. Okay.
Xamir qilsa ham bo'ladi.
Yeah, let's vote for the best idea. Little chick. Little chick space.
In a
Let's
small
vote-
swimming pool deyishyapti.
Swimming pool.
Swimming pool. All right. Thank you very
Olimjon
much.
Jalilov turibdi ekan. Olimjon Jalilov можно положить туда. Let's vote for him.
Which idea you like best?
Olimjon Jalilov.
Okay. Which idea you liked most?
Pickled
Who is
cabbages.
most creative?
I love
Pickled cabbages. Are we voting? Is everyone voting for them?
Yeah, let's choose any.
Okay. Pickled cabbages. The winner is the person who ideated pickled cabbages. Congratulations.
Congratulations,
done.
Jamila Pameda.
Actually,
right?
the most innovative firm idea designed the trash bin with the wheels coming up from this very idea. They designed a big trash bin with the wheels, which was quite popular nowadays.
Good.
Okay, thank you. Now let's be back to our.
So, dear teachers, you can use a lot of such a creative players on the platform. You can just Google it and then find it more apps to use in your classes. Hurmatli o'qituvchilar, bunaqa applar juda ham ko'p. Xohlaganingizni ishlatishingiz mumkin. Sinfda undan tashqari siz o'zingiz ham izlashingiz mumkin. Google Apps or any apps for creativity in the classroom.
How might we enhance creativity in education? So what we mostly do is government designs the pathways on how the kids should be taught by creating framed tasks and framed curriculum. Whereas if we observe our students, they are making their own ways from the user experiences. They are making the shortcuts coming up from their own needs and interests, right?
Tarjima qilaman. Hozir o'qituvchilar hozir aytishyapti, I couldn't join deb. Lekin aytmoqchimanki, bular hozir videoga olinyapti, video qo'yiladi. Nasib bo'lsa YouTube'da bemalol bizlarni yana qayta ko'rishlaringiz mumkin. Tarjima shunaqa bo'ladiki, how might you enhance creativity in education? O'zingiz shaxsan qanday qilib shu kreativitetni rivojlantirishingiz mumkin? Yurgan yo'lingizda o'rganishingiz mumkin. Masalan, chap tomondagi rasmni qarab tursangiz, masalan, davlat yoki mana shu quruvchilar ularga berilgan loyiha asosida dizayn qilishgan. Qarab tursangiz, lekin yo'ldan yuruvchilar esa yangi kreativ yo'l ochishgan. Ko'pchilik joylarda, masalan, shunaqa deb eshitganmiz, rivojlangan davlatlarda oldin yo'lni qurmasdan oldin insonlarga yurishga imkoniyat berishar ekanda, yurib ketgan joyidan keyin yo'l qilib berishar ekan. Creativity in the classroom endi unda o'zlaringizga o'zlaringiz o'lchab ko'rasizlar. Qarang, qancha ishlatib olasizlar. Har kun ishlatasizlarmi? Haftada bir marta ishlatasizlarmi? Keyin natijasini ko'raverasizlar.
And another research question was, do you agree with the following statements on creativity, that you really understood that creativity is a skill which can be applied to different subjects? Most of you agreed on that. And
mana yana bir marta sizlarga berilgan savolnomani sizlar javob bergansizlar. Rahmat sizlarga buning uchun. Masalan, ijodiy yondashuv har bitta fanga ishlatsa bo'ladimi degan savolga deyarli ko'pchilik ha deb javob bergan.
And creativity is inborn and cannot be developed. You disagree. Half of you strongly agreed, half of you disagreed. So
Qiziqarli savol, masalan, ijodkorlik tug'ilganidan keladimi yoki keyinchalik rivojlanishi mumkinmi degan savolga qiziq javob bo'lgan. 50% ha, tug'ilganda bo'lmasa hech qachon bo'lmaydi deb javob bergan, boshqalar esa yo'q, u rivojlantirsa bo'ladigan ko'nikma deb berishgan.
Another statement like encouraging creativity is difficult as students tend to perform according to the framed rules, and majority of you agreed. Yes.
Ko'pchiliklaringiz juda ham ko'pchiliklaringiz keyingi savolga ha deb javob bergansizlar. To есть o'quvchilarni ijodiy yondashuvga o'qitish juda ham qiyin degan savolga deyarli ko'pchiliklaringiz ha degansizlar.
Thank you. That was the reason. Now research shows that amount of creative potential in every person is very huge when they are 5-year-old kids, but whenever they become 8-year-old and start attending schools, actually they start attending schools from 5 years old in other countries, the creativity levels are decreased because of those framed situations. And whenever a person becomes 44 years old, only 2% of potential creativity remains in their head. That also applies to number of laughs decreasing and number of questions asked per day decreasing.
Hozir yana izlanishlar shuni ko'rsatyaptiki, agar kreativlik, ijodiy potensialni o'rganishganda 5 yoshgacha bolalarni to'xtatib bo'lmas ekan. Shuning uchun har kuni bir narsa o'ylab topadi. E'tibor bergan bo'lsangiz, bolalar yurgan yo'lida o'zicha hikoyalar ham to'qib yuraveradi. Bu 5 yoshgacha 98% bolalarda ijodiy yondashuvchanlik juda ham baland. 8 yoshga chiqqandan keyin tasavvur qilasizmi, 3 yilda u 3 barobar kamayapti. 32% ga chiqyapti. Endi 44% ga chiqqanda esa bor yo'q 2% qolyapti. Bu endi o'sha nima deydi, bu tadqiqotda qatnashgan odamlarga nisbatan olingan. Men bunga bunchalik ham qo'shilmayman, chunki o'zim ham o'sha 44 dan oshib ijodiylik yetadi. Xuddi shunday ikkinchi masala kelyapti. Qanchalik odamlar kulib yura oladi? Qanchalik kulib yura oladi? Masalan, shu javob bergan respondentlardan 113 tasi kulib yurar ekan, 5 yoshgacha, 8 yoshgacha 83 tasi va 44 yoshgacha 11 tasi, 11 marta kular ekan. 5 yoshgacha 113 marta, 8 yoshgacha 83 marta, keyingisi 11 marta.
And this is really important. Creative students are always asking questions.
Da, albatta keyin 5 yoshgacha bolalar sizlar bilasizlar, yurgan yo'lida savol beradi. Bo'lmay uchun nega unaqa va hokazo. Demak, 65 ta savol berishar ekan 5 yoshgacha bolalarimiz. 8 yoshgacha da kamayapti. Hali 50% emas, 30% ga kamaydi, 41% ga. Lekin 44 yoshga kelganda men hamma narsani bilaman deganlar ko'payadi. Shuning uchun 6 marta savol bera olar ekan.
All right. And now let's observe creativity in the classroom, how it is appearing in the different classrooms.
Connection is a part of the learning process.
The key point here is it's not about what you do, art, science, etc. It's about how you do it, that you can bring a certain orientation and qualities to your life and make just about anything creative.
I try to bring creativity into the classroom as much as I can. Not only do students naturally wish to be creative, but it's really what engages them through the process. If we did not have creativity in the classroom, it would just be really dull and unexciting, and I wouldn't really get to know who my students
So continuation.
of education. There wasn't really much talk about what's fun in the classroom. There's a lot of discussion of how to maybe lead a discussion or how to teach essay writing. But really, when we teach kids, we should remember that it's supposed to be fun. They need to be engaged through this. And so creativity is a wonderful way to just try to open them up and show them that learning isn't necessarily a task, but it's something that's enjoyable and we can all participate in together.
If I were a teacher, I would probably teach science because it's really fun for me, and then I'd kind of do like really fun stuff because now that I know that it's way more easier and fun to do whatever you're doing in that subject when it's a fun thing. So I would probably try and do it.
Okay, it's all about participation. It's all about tactile activities that students enjoy doing. And therefore, all the activities be related to this tactile styles.
E'tibor bergan bo'lsalaringiz, mana creativity nima klass sinfda masalan 3 ta masalan intervyular bergan bo'lsa, kattalari ham mana katta yoshdagi tanlangan, keyin yoshroq o'qituvchi va juda ham yosh o'quvchi. Hammasi bitta narsani takrorlayapti. It should be fun. To есть juda ham creativity maza qilib dars o'tadigan yoki maza qilib darsga tayyorgarlik ko'radigan, maza qilib o'rganadigan narsalar haqida gapirilyapti.
So when we combine education and creativity, we make our students independent in learning, designing, and implementing all the things that they do and learn. And there are some factors of creativity. There should be newness, originality in the classroom, where they can predict the aha moments. When they try to do things, they make up some product and they say, aha, this is the way that it works. And there is gonna be astonishment, curiosity, and play while doing the activity, inspiration, and interest, and they can make relevant connections using different ideas and relating them and making the flow that relates to creative outcome. And there is also structures that we need to set up, the instructions and assessment method, to be able to assess this very creativity.
Biz Oybek bilan almashib oldik. Qaranglar, qanaqa faktorlar bo'lishi mumkin? Ijodiy ish qilyapsizmi yoki ijodiy ish qilmayapsizmi? Ijodiy ish qilish uchun bir narsa aytganingizda bolalarimiz xursand bo'lganda aha deb yuborish kerak. Ha, men shuni qila olaman deyish kerak. Bu nimani olib keladi? Bu birinchidan ichidan to'liq bolalarning berilishiga olib keladi. То есть bu maza qilib siz aytgan narsani his qilib amalga oshirishi. Keyin albatta millionta savol chiqadi. Men buni qilmoqchi edim, men buni qila olmayapman. Bunday qilmoqchi edim, bunday qilmayman. Lekin birgalikda o'rtoqlariga qarab yoki siz bilan birgalikda o'ynashga olib keladi. Keyin sizning maqsadingiz bilan bolani rivojlanishi haqidagi linkage dedik-ku, mana shu bir-biriga bog'lanish olib keladi. Siz ham rivojlanasiz, bola ham rivojlanadi. Qilinayotgan ishdan o'zingiz ham xursand bo'lasiz. Va albatta bu bolalarni qaysidir ma'noda ruhan uchishga olib keladi. То есть rivojlanishiga olib keladi. Albatta o'qituvchinikida ham.
There is one example when creativity is used in mathematics classes, doing different
Mana bizlar ingliz tili o'qituvchilari matematika darsidagiga ijodkorlikda ko'rasizlar.
Kids design and draw or paint visual metaphors to capture the essence of complex academic information. Suddenly you're appealing to the artistic talents of kids.
I'm more of a visual learner sometimes, so maybe I'll use a strategy of drawing a picture or something like that. For someone who's like a learner to read things, they might like read the story or something to and highlights things that are important. Just now in math, we were working on this problem where we have to draw a picture and try to make it so that we can go over every bridge without going over one twice or without lifting up your pencil. And although I thought it was really hard, instead of like reading the question over and over again, I kept drawing it over and over again and just kept
Okay. So that was the application of concept metaphor using different drawing skills to multiply the tasks which was given in mathematics. And here is
Matematikada mana hozir ko'rdilaringiz, masalan, bitta korobkani yasash uchun qancha masala berilgan. Shu masalani real hayotda qilib ko'rish ko'rsatilgan. Masalan, razmeri qancha bo'ladi, uni kesishlari qancha bo'ladi. Bu bolalarning ijodiy yondashuvdagi bitta yo'l. Bu bittagina ko'nikma emas, bir nechta ko'nikmalarni birlashgani holatini ko'rdilaringiz.
So people, especially children, are mostly interested in disasters, and they are really eager to learn about them. So here, Titanic was used in teaching different subjects, but by different integration. Now you can see it being used in teaching different subjects.
Out there for very little money. You can go to a secondhand bookshop and walk out with arms of material about Titanic, and to really walk students through what happened and then have them work to actually solve the problem of saving people on board that boat. It's amazing how fast students can come up with fairly advanced engineering principles, just basic physics, biology, all things that they have to learn to solve the problem, but they learn them so quickly because it's within this really engaging framework. You can teach history using the Titanic. You can teach economics too. Why were there so many famous, incredibly wealthy people on board that boat? And why were they wealthier then than they are now? There's no income tax. There were no planes to fly back and forth. So all these rich people were moving to their spring and summer homes in the US from Europe, which is where they wintered. I mean, there's so much there about, you can teach them about journalism. One of the reasons why there were so many myths about the sinking, I believe there were at least a dozen, if not closer to 20, daily newspapers in New York City at that time. It was the height of yellow journalism. They couldn't wait to find out what actually happened. They had to kind of guess, because if they waited 12 other newspapers were going to beat them to the story. So we have headlines that say the ship sank and everyone died. We have other headlines that say no one died. I mean, so there's so many things that you can teach about something that really happened over the space of 2.5 hours.
All right. So that was the lesson.
Ajoyib mana misol hozir sizlarga bu shunaqaki qaranglar, bitta Titanic misolini tarixda masalan ko'rsatish hisobiga qancha o'qituvchilarni ko'nikmalarni birlashtirishi mumkin. Masalan, tarix haqida gapirilyapti, lekin masalan odamlarning o'lgani, keyin odamlar nima uchun boy bo'lgani, ular налог to'lagan, to'lamagani va hokazo shulardan bittasi masalan nima uchun odamlar shunchalik boy bo'lgan o'sha vaqtda? Chunki odamlar masalan Angliyadan Amerikaga o'zlarini yoz vaqtida, qish vaqtidagi uylariga kelayotgan bo'lgan. Juda ham ko'p informatsiya berish mumkin bitta Titanicning misolida. То есть tarix o'qituvchisini darsdagi ijodkorligining hisobiga.
Yeah, it's not only the history, but economics can be taught by giving.
Yeah.
They design this ship, and then they will be adding this different informations using the ship model. Yeah. All right. So creative teachers should possess different disciplines and skills like this. They should be confident in their discipline first. They should know their content knowledge first and understand what creativity is. And then they should model that creative behavior in the classroom by becoming the role model for their kids. Then encourage the students ask different questions related to different subjects and make them feel free that mistakes are acceptable. They can learn from their mistakes. That risk-taking should also be encouraged.
Yeah. Creative teachers, ijodkor o'qituvchilar nimasi bilan farq qiladi? Ular birinchidan o'zlariga juda ham ishonib yashaydilar. Ular har doim muvaffaqiyatli insonlar bo'ladilar. Ikkinchisi, ularning yurish turishi boshqacha. Ular har bitta o'qituvchilik qanaqa model bo'ladigan bo'lishi kerak bo'lsa, ular model sifatida yurishadi. Keyin har xil savollar bilan o'zlarining talabalarini motivatsiya qilib borishadi. Keyin har qanaqa xatosiga qabul qilishadi, chunki xato orqali odamlar bir narsani o'rganishiga ishonishadi. Va oxirgisi albatta risk qilishda ular qo'llab-quvvatlashadi. Chunki risk qilish natijasida siz yana bir narsalarga erishasiz.
When it comes to creative students, they ask more questions, make connections, and make different associations that are not usually connected. They think from different viewpoints. They always try alternative ways of doing something, and they can criticize their own idea in a constructive way.
Bu yerda bir narsani to'g'ri tushunish kerak. Qaranglar, masalan, kreativ o'qituvchi bo'lgandan keyin nima bo'lyapti? Kreativ talaba bo'lyapti. To'g'rimi? Onalar olmalarni tagiga olma tushadi deganda, kreativ o'qituvchi bo'lgandan kreativ bolasi bo'ladi. Ular nima qiladi? Ular ko'p savol beradi. Keyin har kuni o'rgangan narsalarini yana foydali narsalar bilan bog'lab boradi. Keyin har doim boshqa tomondan o'ylaydi. Masalan, o'qituvchi aytgan yo'ldan emas, boshqa yo'ldan ham o'ylab boradi. Keyin alternativ yo'llarni o'ylashadi har doim. Yoki o'zlarini fikrlarini aytishadi va o'zlarining fikrlarini kritika qilishadi, lekin konstruktiv yo'lda. To'g'rimi, noto'g'ri aytyapmanmi, nima qilyapman, to'g'ri degan fikrlarni har doim rivojlantirib borishadi.
So, and when it comes to the survey again, you have answered different types of activities that could be done to improve the creativity, and majority answers were related to the project works, using project works in teaching, yes, using arts and crafts, and using professional development on creativity and innovative teaching approaches. That will also help for teachers to be creative.
E'tibor bersalaringiz, mana yana sizlarga har safar mana boshda aytdik, tadqiqot qilinglar deb. Tadqiqot qilish nimaga olib keladi? Sizni qilayotgan ishingizda ozginagina ishonch paydo bo'lishiga olib keladi. Shuning uchun masalan, qanaqa o'quvchilarni qo'llab-quvvatlash natijasida ijodkorlik javoblar e'tibor bergan bo'lsalaringiz, masalan, taqdimot qilishlar, performance based kamroq, lekin use of project works ko'proq, juda ham ko'p bolalar juda ham yaxshilab maza qilib, deyarli 100% bolalar ko'proq savolga javob beryapti va o'qituvchilarga ham juda ham qiziqarli bo'lyapti. O'zi o'ylagan narsani taqdimot qilish. Xuddi shunday kamroq mana taqdimotdan keyin keladigani, masalan, professional development of creativity and innovative teaching approaches. To есть o'qituvchilarning o'zi ijodiy yondashuvi bilan ijodiy yondashuv natijasida rivojlanib borishi va natijadorligining oshishi bo'lyapti va hokazo. Mana shunaqa tadqiqiy yondashuv hisobiga juda ham ko'p narsalarga erishish mumkin.
Okay, so creative opportunities could really come through different types of games that you design it by yourselves or in the books. Curiosity should be an important factor, computing skills, hands-on tasks that could really engage students. That you have heard from one girl that she was really into hands-on tasks. And there should be also always questions asked, experiences, debates, and discussions that will make this creative atmosphere.
Ijodiy fikrlash va muammolarni ijodiy hal qilish, nimalarni atrofida aylanish, lekin bunga yana qo'shimcha yana ko'p narsalarni qo'shib tashlashlaringiz mumkin. Lekin hozir Rohatboy ba'zi birlarni olib chiqqanlar o'yin orqali yoki qiziqtirish orqali yoki kompyuterda ma'lum bir ishlarni amalga oshirish yoki qo'lda, masalan, taktilniy chувство deydi-ku, o'sha o'zini qo'l bilan his qilib bir narsa qilish. Masalan, ba'zi bir bolalar fikrlashdan uzoq, lekin qo'l bilan qilib ko'rgandan keyin ko'proq narsani o'rganadi. Savol javob berish, masalan, savol javobga odatda faqat o'qituvchilar emas, o'quvchilar ko'proq bir-biriga savol berish mumkin. Yoki turli tajribalar o'tkazish, debatlar, suhbatlashish mumkin bir-birlari bilan yoki dialogga chaqirish va hokazo. Bularni soni juda ham ko'p. Haqiqatan har birini izlab ko'rsalaringiz juda ham aniq qilasiz. Mana Rohatoyda prezentatsiyasiga e'tibor bersalaringiz, yarim tadqiqot, mana marhamat.
So the yellow line that attracted my attention, that was using imagination. You are exactly right. So how often the students take part in these activities? So you said once a week. You are you are doing the correct way, that you are implementing creativity in your students' lives by using their imagination, solving their problems, and the longest one is working collaboratively, collaborative work, which is also related to 21st century skills. Learning and discovering by themselves. These are the highest points.
Agar e'tibor bersalaringiz, bizlarni juda ham xursand qilayotgani mana orange deymiz, sariq rang siqilib using imagination. Bizlar hammamiz yurgan yo'limizda nimaga intilamiz? Bizlar vizualizatsiya qilamiz. Qilinishi mumkin bo'lgan ishni o'sha tasavvur qilamizki, o'shanga juda ham ko'p o'qituvchilar haftada bir marta mana shunaqa ish qilaman deb yozgan. Keyingi masalada sariq rang bilan kelayotgani, masalan, muammolarni hal qilish deyam juda ham ko'p o'qituvchilar ha deb aytishgan. Va learning and discovering by themselves through curiosity. It's very good things. Masalan, bunga ham o'qituvchilar juda ko'pchilik ha deb aytishgan. Ularni qiziqtirish hisobiga o'rgatish.
Yeah. The teaching is all about creativity. Every day you solve different kinds of problems, right? If you have got questions that cannot be solved, what do? You come up with your own approach, yeah? Or do you, if you have a problem in your classroom, do you Google it and find the answer? It comes from yourself, right? So using your imagination and finding the problem and trying to solve it is all about creativity. Creativity is
our professor of creativity, Rohatoy Boltayeva. She is so nice in that. I'm very grateful, Ro'qatoy. Mana hozir aytilyaptiki, o'qituvchi degan narsa kim? O'qituvchi har kuni ijodiy yondashadigan muammolariga, chunki joydagi muammoni siz Google bilan hal qila olmaysiz-da. Joydagi muammoni o'zingizni ijodkorligingiz bilan hal qila olasiz, xolos. Shuning uchun qanaqadir savollaringiz chiqib qolsa, Boltayevaga murojaat qilaveringlar. Creativity bo'yicha katta professorimiz shu.
Thank you. So this all about generating a novel and unique ideas that you could use in your classrooms while teaching English. So for example, by giving them different words with prefixes, you can ask them to do this fun activity that they can add any word towards it and create a new word, or other possible definitions, which can be also quite fun. And at the same time, they will learn the real meaning of it at the end. So admin, this is the one who contributes the least. Yeah, in general, in real life, it's the same. True. Apollo. So what is Apollo? They can give their own definitions, their own creative definitions towards these words. This is one activity for English classroom. And I would like to draw your attention the difference between creative teaching and teaching for creativity. Creative teaching is all about the teacher. It focuses on the teacher and it's his planning for the engagement, their methodology, understanding and everything. As for teaching for creativity, it focuses on student-centered learning and experiences and how they can apply creative thinking towards their students' learning.
Will we go back, please?
Yeah.
Ro'qatoy, because to that slide we didn't mention about that. Bu sizlarga beriladigan bitta metodika bo'lyapti. Hozir masalan, qanaqa qilib so'zlarni yoki har bitta so'zni ma'nosini bolalarga yetkazib berish mexanizmi. Masalan, mana multi, pre, anti degan so'zlar bilan har bitta gaplarning oldidan keladigan definitionlar, nima deydi? Prefixlar deyishadi, prefix. O'sha prefixlarning oldiga qanaqa so'zlarni qo'yish mumkin desangiz, masalan, bolalar o'ylab qoladi. Bu nima edi, qanaqa qilib, qaysi ko'nikmanmi yoki ishlatsam mana shu narsaga erishaman degan. Yoki boshqa so'zlarni ma'nosini chiqarish. Masalan, admin degan so'zda bizlar odatda juda ham kam ish qilib, lekin katta ishni qiladiganlarni nazarda tutamiz. Masalan, aslida ko'p ishlarni qilishadi ular ham, lekin contributionga keladigan bo'lsa juda ham kam. Lekin har bitta dars juda ham ijodiy yondashuvlar bo'lishi mumkin. Har bitta dars bolaga qaysidir ma'noda qiyin bo'lishi mumkin, lekin shu bilan birgalikda juda ham qiziqarli bo'lishi mumkin. Endi shuni davom ettirib, keyingi slayd ochadigan bo'lsa, keyingi slaydda o'qituvchi nima qiladi? O'qituvchini ijodkorligi, darsda qanaqa qilib, chiroyli qilib ijodkorlik bilan bolalarimizga yetkazaman desa, o'quvchi nima qiladi? O'qituvchi dars berish jarayonida nima qiladi? O'quvchini ijodiy fikrlashga majbur qiladigan yoki qiziqtiradigan o'qituvchi. Darsga tayyorlash bir tomon, lekin dars jarayonida shu o'quvchini qiziqtirib, ijodiy fikrlashga o'rgatish bu ikkinchi tomon bo'lyapti.
Now we will do 1 minute little activity. I would like your answers in the chat box on how many ways can you make 20. This is a sample.
Very good question. Masalan, mana hozir ozginagina kichkinagina ish qilamiz. Hozir 20 degan so'zni qanchalik yo'llar bilan yozish mumkin? Yoki qilish mumkin, yaratish mumkin.
How can you make 20? Yes.
20 da.
Adding.
20 degan so'zni 20 degan ma'noni qanday qilib chiqarish mumkin yoki qanday qilib 20 qilish mumkin? Masalan, qo'shish mumkin, ayirish mumkin, ko'paytirish mumkin, yana nimalar qilish mumkin? Qanday deylarchi? Javob beringlarchi. Marhamat.
Chat box. 10
Chat
plus
box.
10. Yes, you're right.
Very
job.
good answer. Yes.
19 plus.
Voqea chehra.
Add
Very
number
good.
one. Great. Good job.
100 divided into 5.
So how many ways you have come up?
Okay,
One
1,
person
2,
came up
3,
with 2 different ways. I saw
5,
just
6, 7.
no. I mean, one individual person should come up as many different ways, not just one single way.
One person came 1, 2, 3. 3 versions I could see it. One person means Abdul Hamid was Zulmira.
Good job. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
very
Now,
good answer.
Mashkura Batirova wrote, by drawing just 20. I
wow,
love this one.
very creative way.
A
So
very
this-
creative one. Yes.
these
How
are-
many ways can you make 10?
Yeah.
These
Okay,
are some
come on.
alternative solutions. We have seen addition, division. I didn't see minus at all. Multiplication I saw. I didn't see this way, so and this way. The three least ways. I haven't observed in the chat
Yet.
box. No,
No,
yeah.
no, we didn't see
Great.
that.
Cool.
Percentage, we
Great
didn't
job.
see it. Yeah,
Mhm.
anyway. So people
All
have
right.
tried.
So one final point about the activities that about creative activities that you can adopt and adjust your any activity using these following verbs, adding create, invent, discover, imagine, suppose that, and predict to make our students to think in a different way.
Bolalarni har safar o'ylashda bir narsalarga majbur qilish kerak, majbur emas, qiziqtirish kerak. Masalan, ijodiy yondashishga yoki bir narsalarni yaratishga yoki hayotida umuman bo'lmagan narsalarni topishga yoki tasavvur qilishga. Keyingisi bo'lyapti, oldindan aytib bera olishga, masalan, mana bu holat bor, bu holat yo'q deyishga.
All right. Yeah, you can adjust your any activity adding those very words and adapt them. All right. So on this, I'm gonna finish the webinar, and the home assignment for you will be to go on this website and identify your own creative style. How creative are you as a person? After doing this test, you will be again. So there is another YouTube video that you can watch the creativity in the classroom. So I will be giving the links for that. And here you can observe that why we need creativity in the schools. 6 different kinds of problems are depicted in this video if you watch.
Agar uyga vazifa berildi, hozir masalan ссылкасini ham tashlab qo'yamiz. Bunaqaga kanalga ham tashlash kerak bu narsa. mycreativitytype.com bu savol javob qilish mexanizmi. Bahonasida o'zingizni qanchalik ijodiy yondashadigan inson ekanligingizni baholashingiz mumkin. Keyingi slaydda sizlarga YouTube berilyapti. Bu YouTube bu yerda ham ko'rsatilgan. Hozir linkni ham tashlaymiz. Bemalol masalan bu yerda 3 ta slayd keltirilgan. Birinchi slayd 100 yil oldin o'qituvchilarning qanaqa ishlagan, o'quvchilar qanaqa o'tirgan.
Okay. And there is a survey at the end which will come right after watching the videos and conducting the creative type style questions. Then you will conduct the survey.
O'sha videoni ko'rganingizdan keyin bu yerda yana bir marta savol javob qilinyapti-da. O'sha savol javobga siz o'zingiz javob berishingizga harakat qilishingiz mumkin.
Yeah, thank you very much. It is the
Hammalaringizga katta rahmat. Mana sizlarda uy vazifa ham bor, ijodiy qanaqa qilib yondashish bo'yicha ham bor, lekin bu yondashuvlar hammasi siz qayerda dars o'qituvchi bo'lishingizdan qat'iy nazar, maktabgacha ta'limdami, maktabdami, oliy ta'limdami, hammasida ishlatadigan 10 ta mezon. 10 ta mezonga asoslangan kreativ yondashuv yoki ijodiy yondashuv.
If you have any
Endi
questions,
savollarga masalan Gulmiraxon qo'llarini ko'tarib qo'yganlar, biri boshidan va Saodatxon boshidan qo'llarini ko'targanlar. Marhamat. O'zlaringizni nimalarni yoqib, unmute please yourself and please announce your question. Gulmiraxon, Abduhamidova, marhamat. Qanaqangiz yoqib yuboringlar mikrofoningizni. Assalomu alaykum.
Mikrofon. Yaxshi.
Assalomu alaykum.
Da, marhamat. Va alaykum assalom. Gulmiraxon, yaxshimisiz? Boshidan qiziqib, yaxshilab eshitib o'tirdingiz. Savollaringiz bo'lsa, marhamat. Birinchi qo'lingizni ko'taruvdingiz savol bilan.
Mana rahmat, shunaqa vebinarlar bo'lib tursa, bizga yana mana ertangi darslarimizga yana ham ko'proq narsalar olib ketyaptik. Endi nima demoqchiman bunda endi mana chet elda unaqalar ko'rsatildi videolar darslarini olib borishlari bizani dars o'tish tizimimizga sal to'g'ri kelmaydi deb turibmanda mana partalarda o'tirib bizada tikka o'tkazilib qo'yiladi o'quvchilar ularda bemalol aktivitelarni qilishyapti bizada ham shunaqalar joriy bo'lsa
Gulbaraxon, men sizga bir narsa aytaman. Siz qayerda ishlaysiz?
Parkentda, maktabda.
Mana Parkentda. Bizlar bir vaqtlar mana bizlar endi Toshkentda dars berib yurgan vaqtlarimiz, men direktor ham bo'lib ishladim, o'qituvchilarimizga ruxsat berganmiz. Faqat ingliz tili o'qituvchilari shunaqa qilardi, boshqa o'qituvchilar qilmasdi. Nima uchun? Chunki ingliz tili o'qituvchilar ko'proq o'zini ustida ishlagani uchun bo'lsa kerak. Bir kuni shunaqa bo'lgan, masalan, safarga ruxsat berilgan kuni bu o'qituvchilarimiz hammasi stollarni surib qo'yganda. Ha, mana как раз. Qarang, o'qituvchilar yondashuvini
hozir sizga mening sevimli rangim manaqa deyishni o'rgatib qo'yaman. Bo'laveradimi? My favorite color is degani mening sevimli rangim degani. Qaytaringchi. My favorite color is.
My favorite color is.
Okay. You should say ours your favorite color. Endi men sevimli rangim uni rangi deb aytdingiz.
My favorite color is.
My favorite color is.
Mana? Okay. Ko'rmaysiz rangini. Green.
Green, yes. Okay.
My favorite color is green. Qaytaring.
My favorite color is
green.
Okay. Keyingi safar kelganingizda meni sevimli rangim deb aytib bering deymiz.
Okay, thank you very much.
Xo'p, color
Qarang Gulmiraxon, mana buni biz ataylar tanladik. Mana Baliqchi tumani, Andijondagi Baliqchi tumanidan o'qituvchilarni har chorshanba kuni o'tkazadigan ochiq kunlar darslari. E'tibor bergan bo'lsangiz, atrofdagi go'zallik hammasini o'zlari bolalar bilan birgalikda yasashgan. Unga maxsus anaqa bir narsalar sotib olinmagan, boshqa narsa qilinmagan. Faqat o'quvchilarga ruxsat berilgan. Bu bir. Ikkinchisi shu kuni mehmon bo'lib kelganmi, otami u yoki haqiqatan u nima deydi, yoshlarga qarab turadigan militsionermi, kim bo'lishidan qat'iy nazar o'qituvchi ishlayapti. Endi eng qizig'i bu o'qituvchi bitta o'zi ishlab turganida ikkinchi o'qituvchi kelib yordam beradi. Mana cooperation keldi. Tushunyapsizmi? Do'st bitta o'qituvchi bilan emas, ikkita o'qituvchi emas, boshqa o'qituvchilar. Men mana bu Baliqchi tumanidan bunaqa hozir Baliqchi tumanidagi o'qituvchilar bo'lsa, anaqasiga kanalga qo'shib qo'yishganda meni. Tez shu yerdan keys olaman, o'zimning treninglarimda shu yerdan keys olaman. Mana O'zbekistonda ham qilsa bo'ladi. Ijodiy yondirsa ham bo'ladigan ishlar ko'p. Faqatgina men yana boyagi hikoyamga qaytmoqchi edim. Dars vaqtida bizlar o'qituvchilarga umuman bolalar o'tirmasin degan, bir hafta o'tirmasin dars o'tib ko'ringlar dedik. Bu o'quvchilar ham o'tirmaydi, o'quvchilar ham o'tirmaydi. Stollarni surib qo'yishdida tikka turib dars o'tishdi o'quvchilar bilan birgalikda. Shunaqa vaqtda boshqarmadan tekshiruv kelgan. Jahli chiqdi ozroq. Bu nima bu darsmi? Bu dars emas-ku dedi. Keyin bu hozirgi standartda yozilgan, Mosafir standartida yozilgan creativity deb yozilgan. Buni endi admin qila olmaysiz. 124-Vazirlar Mahkamasining qarori bu. 124-Vazirlar Mahkamasining qaroridan keyin boshqa predmetlarga ham xuddi shunaqa standart qabul qilingan. Xuddi shunaqa standart boshqa fanlarga ham bir A2 va hokazo darajalar qabul qilindi. Kompetensiyaga moslashtirilgan bolalarni tayyorlash masalasi berilgan 187-Vazirlar Mahkamasi qarori. Bir ochib qarasanglaringiz, boshqa o'qituvchilarga ham yordam berishlaringiz mumkin. Agar birontalaringiz orchurda o'tirib bizani eshitayotganlar, Shirin Musayni qarang yoki Rohitapoy qarang, mana men o'zimni darsimni kreativitetini qanday ishlatyapman, dars o'tmoqchiman desalaringiz, o'zingizlarning platformalaringizda. Iltimos kelinglar shunaqa darslar bilan. Biz ham shularga ham sertifikat beramiz. Keyin o'qituvchilar savol berishgan. Masalan, qaysidir sertifikatda ko'rsatishgan, shunga ustama olamanmi yoki bizlarni olgan sertifikatga ustama olamanmi deyilgan. Endi aslida bu bugungi mavzumizga to'g'ri kelmaydigan mavzu. Unga alohida trening qilib beramiz. Shuning uchun bugun sertifikatlar haqida gaplashmaymiz, lekin bugun eng asosan o'qituvchilarning o'zini o'sishi, o'ziga kerak ekanligi haqida qisqagina to'xtab o'tmoqchi edim. Shuning uchun komandaga qo'shilgan hamma o'qituvchilarga rahmat demoqchiman.
I shared my PowerPoint slides in the chat box that you can download. Yeah.
Of course, it would be on the OC channel as well. Hozirgi prezentatsiyani Ro'xatoyev chatga ham tashladi. Hozir kim eshitayotgan bo'lsa olib olish mumkin. Undan tashqari bizlar videoni o'zimizni YouTube'imizga ham qo'yib boryapmiz. Undan tashqari bu taqdimot UC kanalida ham bo'ladi. Bemalol olishlaringiz mumkin.
Ro'xatoyev, thank you very much for the
Ro'xat aka bitta qarsak cholamizmi
very
hammamiz?
interesting. Yes, qani?
Rahmat. Bizning komandamizda boshlanishda juda faol qatnashgan Oybek Imamovga tarjima qilib turdilar. Ularga ham bitta rahmat deylik. Bizning komandamizda eng katta moderatorimiz, hamma o'qituvchilarning yuragi bo'lib turgan inson bu Jamil opamga alohida rahmat. Endi sizlarga o'zlaringizga, chunki bugun tilimsiz, bizlar bilan mana yarim oqshom borib uxlamasdan yoki boshqa ishlaringiz qilmasdan, o'zim o'saman, o'sganim sayin xalqimni o'stiraman deb turgan vatanparvar o'qituvchilarimizga alohida bitta qarsak. Hammalaringizga.
Sizlarni yana bir marta agar esingizda bo'lsa, webinarimizni boshida bizani komandaga Friendly Family of Ustiga qo'shilganlarni men aytib o'tsam.